What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jackson. I shaved my pathetic excuse of an Andrew Luck neck beard off, and it's very weird seeing myself baby-faced. Power's here, and today we are going to be doing the divisional round predictions. Yes, I'm aware that intro middle name had nothing to do with the video, but that is besides the point. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the divisional round. I told you guys I was going to upload this video today. If you saw my last one, I said I was going to do this one today. Last week in the wildcard round, I went 4-2 with my predictions, and of course 4-2 overall for the playoffs. So this week we're going 4-0 because there's only 4 games, and we're going to get them perfect. So we're going to start off in the AFC side of things because Colts fan. I'm a Colts fan, and that's the team I go for, or the conference I go for. So we're going to start off with the AFC. And the first matchup is the Buffalo Bills taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in Buffalo. This game is going to be played in Buffalo. It's going to be very interesting. As you guys saw last week, I did go to the Bengals and Ravens wildcard game, and because of that, I'm bandwagoning the Bengals for the entire playoffs. I'm rooting for them to win it all, but they've got a tough test against Buffalo. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, but I don't know. Buffalo played very badly against the Dolphins, who had a third-string quarterback, and the Bengals also didn't play that great of a game against the Ravens, but they were able to get the job done. So I think both of those games were wake-up calls for both of those teams. But the Bengals' O-line is going to be heavily banged up in this game. It's just not going to be good. Like, they got 3 of them out, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's going to be tough for Joe Burrow to make plays happen, but we saw last year he had a horrible O-line, and he took them to the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens. Anything is possible, but I don't see them being able to block the Bills' front line that well, and I think Joe Burrow is going to take a lot of punishment. And with that being said, I think the Bills are going to play a lot better than they did last week. I think last week was a wake-up call. They took the Dolphins lightly, and it almost came back to bite them. They are not going to take the Bengals lightly. And, the Bengals kind of did the same thing with the Ravens, so Bengals definitely aren't going to take the Bills lightly. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be very good back and forth, but I don't know. There's just something about the Bills. They're a team of destiny, and I'm going to be rooting for the Bengals, but I will be taking the Buffalo Bills to win this game because I'm predicting what I think is going to happen, not what I want to happen. So I'm taking the Bills in this game. I'm going to say Bills win by like 4 or so. I think it's a dogfight. And that brings us to the next matchup in the AFC, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Jags last week, they had to come from behind. They had the third largest comeback in NFL playoff history against the Chargers, coming back from a 27-point deficit to beat them 31-30, and the Chiefs had a bye last week. They didn't play. So it's going to be something that's very interesting. It's going to be a great game, and the Jags, they're hot right now. They are playing some great football. Trevor Lawrence, he had that second half last week was one of the best halves he's played in his career, and a streak is going to end because this game is on Saturday. Because Trevor Lawrence has never lost on a Saturday, like from high school to now. He was 2-0 in high school. He was 23-0 in college or something like that, and he's 2-0 in the NFL on Saturdays. So it's going to be interesting to see because the Chiefs Patrick Mahomes, is undefeated in divisional round games. He's never lost a divisional round game. The Chiefs have gone to 4 straight AFC championship games, and they in the AFC Championship game last year, no one expected them to lose, but they ended up doing so. And somebody's gonna call me crazy, but I'm taking an upset here. I think Jacksonville gets it done. They're gonna beat the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs. I think it could be a lot like the Bengals AFC Championship game last year. They'll get ahead early, but then the Jags will play a great second half. They'll come back and win. And I could really see that happening. Trevor Lawrence seems very confident, and I think it's going to be back and forth. It's going to come down to the wire. But give me the Jacksonville Jaguars on a last-second game-winning field goal. They're gonna win by 3, I think, and it's gonna be a surprise to everyone. But come back here when that happens, so you know that I'm not the crazy one here. So my AFC Championship game will be the Buffalo Bills hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars, and yeah, you guys will know who I think is going to win that game next week. But now we're going to move over to the NFC side of things. The NFC was very interesting wild card weekend. We had a lot of games happen. NFC, it was my weak spot last week. I got all the AFC games right, but I did get only one NFC game right last week. So we'll see what happens. But the first game that is going to happen, I don't know if it's the first game that's going to happen, but it's the first one I'm going to talk about. It's the Brock Purdy-led San Francisco 49ers taking on the Dallas Cowboys, a rematch of the wild card game from last year. And, of course, last year it ended very strange with that Dak Prescott QB draw with 13 seconds left, and they weren't able to get another playoff after that. And the 49ers ended up moving on and went on their incredible run to the NFC title game before coming up short against the Rams. So the Niners are back. They're hosting a game this time. The Niners took care of business pretty easily against the Seahawks, and the Cowboys also had a pretty easy game against Tampa Bay. They handled business. So both teams coming off blowout wins. Both are confident. This game is not going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game. And I've been riding high with the Cowboys since before the playoffs started. But I just don't know. This 49ers team is so good. Brock Purdy over here is refusing to play like a rookie quarterback. He is either just good or it's very easy to play quarterback in the 49ers offense. I mean, those are the only two options. And the Cowboys, they got Dak Prescott. He had a pretty good game last week against Tampa Bay. But the Cowboys had a game so easy last week that their kicker missed 4 extra points and they won by 3 scores. So their kicker can't be pulling that shit this week because the 49ers are a much better team than Tampa Bay. And as much as I want T.Y. Hilton to win a ring with the Cowboys because I just love T.Y. Hilton so much, I have to take the 49ers here. I picked against them last week, and that backfired on me. So I'm not doing that this week. I think the Niners are just going to be too good. I think the Niners are going to get it done, and the Niners will move on to the NFC Championship game. And their opponent will be the winner of the next game, which is the Eagles and the Giants. The Eagles, the 1 seed, hosting, and the Giants, the 6 seed. The Eagles last week were on a bye, so they just sat at home and waited. But the Giants, on the other hand, were in a dogfight with the Vikings. They beat them on the final play when Kirk Cousins threw a check down on 4th and 8. But it was a really good game last week. The Giants showed that they belong in the playoffs by beating the Vikings. And people over here calling the Vikings frauds. A little bit of that is true, but I think also you got to give Brian Daboll a lot of credit for getting that team in the playoffs and winning a playoff game. And it's gonna be a very interesting game this week against the Eagles. But I don't know. The Eagles beat them twice in the regular season. They did sweep them, but the second time around, the Giants, they rested their starters. So it's gonna be an NFC East showdown. It's gonna be very exciting. I think we could see a lot of defense played in this game. But I don't know, man. I think the Eagles are just going to be too much for the Giants to handle. The Giants weren't able to beat them the first 2 times. The Giants got blown out by the Eagles the first time they played them. The second time, the Eagles didn't really try, and they still won because the Giants rested their starters. But with both teams going at it, I don't see the Giants being able to keep up with the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to get it done. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to say that the Eagles win by a touchdown, maybe. But the Giants will keep it close. It'll be a very solid game. So, therefore, my NFC Championship game will be the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the San Francisco 49ers. And the AFC Championship game, once again, will be the Buffalo Bills hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars if my predictions come true, or when my predictions come true. And, that's basically all I have to say. Tune in next week to see who the winners of the conference championship games will be, because I picked perfect every time except for the 2 games last week, but those aren't important. But yeah, I'm excited for the playoffs this weekend. I'm ready for some good games, and we'll see what happens. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications, and follow everything in the description box. See you guys next time. Bye.